There's something magical about being in New Zealand for 6 months, and the whole Section 9 group, which we are part of, is such a strong unit, such a strong team. And we were doing, we came down 2 months before we started shooting, and we started doing physical training for 5 hours every single day. It was tactical training, it was weapons training, it was counter-terror training, and lifting weights and just working out to be physical fit for the role. And that gave a kind of team spirit that I've very rarely experienced on films.
We were like a family because by the end of the shoot, because we had spent so much time with each other. In fact, we were in such good physical condition that some of us even ran the marathon. Did you know that? The Round the Bays in Wellington marathon. So it was a very special time because, you know, I mean, we would be on these giant sound stages that are so immersive. And then the minute we step out, it's mountains and
it's nature,
water, and it's amazing.
I had this feeling when I saw the film for the first time, which I had when I saw Blade Runner, that it felt so real. This was like, you know what, this is how it's going to be in the future. And that's what Rupert created. He created a world where we, the actors, were so lucky to navigate in, because you didn't have to do, you know, when you're standing in front of a green screen and the director goes like, there's a green monster, there's a big monster behind you, and you go like that, you know. But when you're acting in a set that is so detailed and so beautiful, it adds a lot of levels and a lot of things to your character, which is wonderful.
Scarlett is a very gifted performer, obviously, but more than that, I think she is such a committed actress. So in terms of the action sequences, she brought such strength and physicality to all the choreography that, you know, for us to be working on a complicated action set piece, it's very comforting to have someone like that, you know, with you, and to have your back as well. So I think that was really great to have.
The first time we had like 3 days in Taipei on Lucy, and that was just, I felt like kind of a tourist because I just came in, I was a part of it for a short period. But on Ghost in the Shell, we were really together, and we had a great collaboration. And honest to God, I swear I hope that I get the chance to do a lot of films with Scarlett again in the future. That's one of the few things you cannot act. It's chemistry, you know? That's why the cast is so important. That's why Rupert did an incredible job with getting such an international group of people together. And we put in a lot of work with the whole pre-work training. But chemistry, it's just either it's there or it isn't.
And there's a real luxury, really. I mean, when you said like 2 months before we shoot, and normally on a movie set you show up and then you start shooting, you know. But we had time to get to know each other and knew how, you know, we worked. So I mean, when it came time to shooting, it just all felt very natural. I love that Rupert was very inclusive in all the decision making. You know, I think that, you know, he would bring us together in a room with Kurt and Bart, the costume designers, and, you know, we'll be picking out ties and, you know, for example, my suit. And he was also very integral in deciding on the look of the mullet for the particular character. What I loved was this particular prop that I had, which was this Casio digital calculator watch from the 80s. It is vintage, and we found that, and I wore it throughout the shoot.
The whole film in IMAX 3D. I think it's one of those films that's really made for that. So if I were a young moviegoer, I would be very excited about going in and watching this film, because it's not just an action film, you know. It actually has a great story. And also, which really surprised me, was it has strong female leads, you know. And that's, sometimes it can be very rare. But in this case, they're doing an incredible job, Scarlett and Juliette Binoche.